All right, so here's a think, pair, share. But this think, pair, share is actually set up more like an example. But this is one where, I did provide a lot of screenshots and structure. This one's meant for, the student to kind of go through this one on their own, and try and follow at their own pace, and see if they can follow it all the way through and kind of mimic all the steps. So, but I'm going to go through this um, as though I were you and going through this so you can watch me do it. This is in case you're having some trouble and maybe having some difficulty understanding this process from beginning to end. Um, so we're going to look at Major League Baseball payroll amount versus season wins. So the payroll in millions of dollars for 8 Major League Baseball teams for a particular season, and the number of times the team won, got extra, that season is given in the table below. So we've got payroll and we've got wins. Okay, so kind of right off the bat. All right, my machine is not responding. Let's give it a second. There we go. Come on. Come on. Yeah, these are our X values and these are going to be our Y values. So we want to perform a linear regression and correlation analysis of the data using your calculator, either Texas Instruments or NumWorks. In the process, answer the following 4 questions. So questions 1, 2, 3, and 4. Does there appear to be a linear trend between both variables? What is the literal strength of the line of regression? Does the line of regression estimate the sample data with at least a 95% confidence level? And does the sample line of regression model the population line of regression with a 95% confidence level? So let's start with answering these 4 questions. First thing we want to do is we want to prepare the data. So identify the independent variable and the dependent variable. So again, note at this point, you would look for outliers and perhaps remove them, report which data was removed, and then proceed. Okay, but we're skipping through the outlier detection and removal, okay, for now. So our payroll values, those are going to be our X values, and the number of wins are going to be our Y values. So with the Texas Instruments calculator, we're going to put that into list 1, and the Y values we're going to put into list 2, which is what I've got over there. So if I come over here to the Texas Instruments, and to save time, I went ahead and went into the list editor, and I've got my values in the X values in list 1, Y values in list 2. Okay. Next, we want to draw a scatter plot of the data. Because remember, to answer question 1, does there appear to be a linear trend between both variables? Now, we sketched this by hand before. So what I'm going to do is I'm trying to show you, again, how to get this picture on your calculator so you don't have to draw it. Okay. So the very first thing that I would do, actually, before we go into stat plots here, is let's make sure that any previous functions aren't being graphed. What do I mean by that? Just hit this Y equals key in the upper left-hand corner. And you see I've got a function left over from a previous problem or a previous example. This will mess you up. Okay, so if you find anything like that, just hit clear and get rid of it. All right, so let me quit out of that. Okay, that's good. So the first thing we want to do is we want to go into our statistical plots, and we're going to turn plot number 1 on, and we want to make sure all the others are off. So let me come over here, and stat plot is in blue. So I'll hit the second button, then the Y equals button. And I've got these other plots 2 and 3, and those are off. So that's good. Plot 1 is on. So I'm going to go into that. Now for me, it was on. If yours was off, that's fine. Just come over here to on and hit enter. Under type, you can see we've got 6 types of graphs we can make. You might have maybe histogram turned on. You want to make sure that you come over here to the scatter plot one, which is the very first type, and hit enter. Okay, and then you can put your list of x values, okay, which are in list 1. The list of y values were in list 2. This is the marker we're going to have for our data points, and they're going to be colored blue, so that's fine. All right, so that's kind of what we've done here and we've done here. Now we want to be able to see it. So we're going to have to go to the zoom menu and choose zoom stat. So to go to the zoom menu, we just go to this zoom button, which is on the top row in the middle. And zoom stat is the 9th one. So we can scroll down all the way to 9, or I could just hit 9 on the keypad. And there you go. All right, so we have a picture that looks like this. Now, the other thing we want to form out of this picture is we want to plot our mean point, or x bar, y bar. And so we get that using 2 variable stats. We're going to graph that too. Okay, but first let's run 2 variable stats and let's get these values. So we'll come back here and we'll hit the stat button. We'll go to calculate and we'll do 2 variable stats. And list 1 is our list of x values. List 2 is our list of y values. Hit calculate. And there's our x bar and y bar. Okay. So we get 107 and 80.875. So you could write that down. And let's go back to our list editor. Let's go to edit. And here in list 3, we're going to put our x bar number. And over here for list 4, we're going to put our y bar number. Like that. Click enter. And let's see here. Oh yeah, so we're going to plot list 3 and list 4 in plot number 2. And that's going to put like a red dot in that place, or a red cross. Okay. So we need to go back to stat plot. So I'm going to hit second, y equals. We're going to go to plot 2. Now plot 2 is off. So I'm going to make sure that I turn it on by hitting enter. I want a scatter plot, which is already selected. If it wasn't, I would click enter. My list of x values are in list 3 because I'm trying to plot x bar, y bar. And my y list is in list 4. And I've already got this plus marker selected. And now I just want to go to zoom. Okay, the zoom button, which is on the top row in the middle. And I want zoom stat, which is 9. And there's my mean point. There's my x bar, y bar. Okay, so now we have this graph. All right, we're good to go there. Let's now give some attention to the NumWorks calculator. So we want to go to the regression app first and put in our x and y values, and then go to the graph tab. So here we go. So we're going to go to the regression app. Okay. Put in our list of x and our list of y values. And then go to the graph tab and click OK. And you can see here we've got our scatter plot. Let me see here. What do I have next? So now we can go ahead and we'll add our line of regression because it's pretty simple. That's going to give us our x bar, y bar. Okay, so we're going to click this regression option and choose linear mx plus b. So we're kind of working ahead a little bit, but we need to in order to get X bar, Y bar to show up. So I just hit up the up arrow to get to these options for the graph. And I'm going to click OK on regression. I want linear mx plus b. And now it's giving me this X bar, Y bar of 107 and 80.875. And I don't have to put it in a list to graph it. It's already there. Okay, so we're good. Okay, so I've shown you how you can get pictures of the scatter plots using both calculators. So the question is, does there appear to be a linear trend between both variables? So the answer is yes. Qualitatively, which means, qualitatively means by just looking at it, it appears that as x increases, y increases linearly. So, we've got, these data points, and if we were to draw a line through them going through this X bar, Y bar, we could draw a line like this. So as X gets larger, Y gets larger. Okay, in addition, the line of regression appears to have a positive slope. So it's going up and to the right. So that is a positive slope. It's going up and to the right. That's a positive slope. The scatter points appear to be spread out and not tightly bound. So when you look at these scatter points, okay, they appear to be maybe a little close, but some of them are going kind of wide, right? Some are kind of close, some are kind of wide. And so as a result, the correlation coefficient should not be too high. The other thing to note is that because our slope is positive, this means that our correlation coefficient is also going to be positive. Okay. Had our slope been negative, our correlation coefficient would have been negative too. I don't think I mentioned it on the previous example. So I want to make sure that I mention it here. Okay, so that's all we need for question 1, is we just need to be able to look at the graph and make this determination. And, we can make some observations that'll kind of help qualify or validate our answers moving forward. All right, so let's stop here. We'll work on question 2 here on the next video. So let me know if you have any questions.